Okay, so today we are doing mozzarella. I've put about 2 cups in a pot. It's about medium size. You can do a gallon, which will get you approximately a pound of cheese. What we're doing is we're going to heat up the milk to about 70 degrees. I will be checking it with my fingers so that it's hot, but not too hot to burn myself. You're just going to want to heat it up to the, like I said, to 70 degrees. So as you can see, the fat hasn't separated yet from the whey. But I'm about to pour white vinegar in. I'm not measuring this out, but I gave you measurements in the recipe. As you can see, the fat is separating from the whey. The fat makes the cheese. Do you guys see that? So the white vinegar actually speeds it up. Now, if you have a Renee and you have citric acid, it does the same thing. I don't have it on hand, so we're using just the white vinegar. And the white vinegar just speeds it up. That's all it does. It just separates it. Now, what we're about to do is we're about to squeeze out the whey, that's like the water, out into a separate bowl. You might want to get a bigger bowl because it does give you a lot, and you're just going to get a small amount of cheese out of this. You just want to get all that fat into a different bowl, and you want to squeeze all that water out. All right, so here's my bowl, and we're just going to get the whey out, separated from the fat, which will make that cheese. You just want to squeeze so there's no more water. It's not watery. Because if you have water, then when you want to use it or you want to melt it, it's just going to be watery on you guys. But if you squeeze it out, it'll be a nice, soft cheese. Now you can add, I've seen people add, liquid smoke or some kind of flavoring. And if you continue to do this, or you add more citric acid or more white vinegar or Renee, you can make other types of cheeses. But right now we're just focusing on mozzarella because we're learning about Italy. So you see how I squeeze it nice and tight? I'm going to squeeze even more on a plate because it was hot. Now I just added salt and I'm just going to work it into the cheese so it's not too salty, but it's not too dry. It is to taste. I gave you an idea of how much I used for this small amount, but it really is to taste. If you like a little bit more salt, that is fine. If you like less, obviously start with less and you can gradually add more. I did still have some water in, so you're just going to squeeze it out, but you're going to work that salt in, and it's not going to look like the cheese that you get from the grocery store because we don't have the Renee and because we don't have the citric acid, but this is just as tasty, so don't you worry if it looks a little weird. I get it. And this is a softer cheese, so if you want to refrigerate it, it does make it a little bit harder, but you can melt it in the microwave, or you could just eat it. You could pair with tomatoes and balsamic, whatever. So I did end up adding a little bit more salt because it wasn't salty enough. And yeah, you just work it in, and then you have your cheese. It's super simple. Takes about 10 minutes. It took me a little bit, I think 12 minutes, only because I had to grab some things, but it really doesn't take that long. I could have even added the white vinegar quicker than I did, but that was just to show you guys what happens. There's lots of videos that do it within 5 minutes. Have fun making your mozzarella.